Okay, I'll admit it, sometimes I don't make the best decisions. So, to continue for today's saga, Monday, 9/11/2017. In an earlier video, I mentioned, in a video I made today in fact, I mentioned that black culture in America celebrates thuggery, celebrates the initiation of violence, where white culture does the opposite. Okay, it does not celebrate thuggery or the initiation of violence. Black culture does celebrate thuggery and the initiation of violence. Now, remember, people, this is my opinion. This is one person's opinion. It doesn't matter to me if you like it, if you don't like it, if you agree with it, if you don't agree with it. This is me stating my opinion because I've observed things that help me shape my opinion. So, for instance, earlier today, a few minutes ago, in fact, down at the liquor store, picking myself up a beer. Blue Moon. This is Blue Moon's White IPA. It's quite tasty. It's a little potent, man. It's even a little more potent than my favorite, Sierra Nevada. So, I'm going to have to go easy on it, and I apologize if you can tell that I am under the influence at the moment. Well, it's due to that White IPA. So I'm down there in the store, and normally everything and everybody in that store is chill. It's a great place. I love going there. Well, today, that wasn't the case. I walk in, and right away, the first thing I hear is, "Come on, get a move on." And some big flat black, I don't know if it was a male or female, I honestly had a little bit of trouble trying to tell. I couldn't quite tell, to be honest. I'm sorry. Sometimes that happens. They were just so big, I couldn't tell if they were, man boobs or not. And there was enough testosterone in the voice, and especially the walk and the posture of this black gangster thug was such that they appeared to be female for all intents and purposes, and they certainly had the attitude of an entitled female. Oh man, YouTube's gonna really yank my channel off the internet for this. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a female, but they just had so many masculine whatever that it just made it kind of hard to tell at first, but let's go with that it was a female. So I go to the store, and she and her little friends are knit at the cashier, right? And there's two cashiers on duty. Well, one of them was in the middle of changing out the little roll of tape that your receipt comes on because it had run out, and he was having a bit of trouble. Partially due to the fact that this woman, I'm going to call it that, was at the counter going, "Come on, hurry up, I ain't got all day, I got to go to work." And her little girlfriend standing behind her, kind of next to me in line, is like, "Oh yeah, they like to play. They're just taking their time. They're just holding you up." And the first one, kind of turns around and goes, "Oh, I know. Tell me, hurry up. I want to get this. I want to get that. I want to." Just being completely disrespectful and obnoxious and rude, like unbelievably obnoxious in the store. And so finally one of the cashiers motioned me around to the other counter. So I go around, I'm standing there, and meanwhile this lady just keeps ripping into this cashier. And the poor guy, she's like, "I gotta get to work." He's like, she's like, "I'm late for work." He's like, I know, me too." And she goes, "You already at work?" He says, "Well, yeah, I am." Poor guy's so befuddled and trying to get his job done, but this lady in his face won't let him get his job done, and it's making it more difficult for him. And the other cashier is trying to handle it as best he can, so he motions me over, and in that transaction, she just keeps going, and me and my dumbass decide to say something. This is what I'm talking about when I say that sometimes I don't make the best decisions in life. There's 4 or possibly 5 black people in this store, and I'm the only white guy. And 2 out of the 5, potentially 5, I couldn't tell who was with who exactly, but 2 out of them were big, larger than me, aggressive. Especially the small, skinny ones that were like 110 pounds and had their weave and the nails. And I mean, they were like super aggressive. I couldn't understand it. It's like, honey, don't you act like a lady, please. But no. So I didn't even direct my comment at them. I directed it to the cashier, and I just said, wow, I've never really seen anybody behave this way in your store before. And he's like, oh yeah, and starts nodding, and right away this big black woman thug, gangster thug, directs her attention on me. It's like, what? What'd you say? Like, acting like how? And so I looked right at her and I said, acting like you're acting right now. And I went on with my transaction. Oh man, I should not have said that. Well, I should have, yes. I wasn't planning on doing anything. I just wanted to call attention to the fact that she was being completely rude and disrespectful unnecessarily. The guy was doing his best to help her, and she was not making it easy for him. And when I see that shit, I know I should leave it alone, but sometimes it just makes me so angry I have to say something. Well, that got the ire of all 4 of them, or 5 of them. I don't know how many there were. I was busy with my transaction, and they were walking up around behind me, calling me bitch, faggot, slut, Trump supporter was the one that got me, because that was first thing out of that lady's mouth after I said, like, you're acting right now. And, it's a string of curses and Trump supporter, and I caught that. I was like, what? Where did that come from? I said, I'm not a Trump supporter. I go back to my transaction. Next thing I know, I look over off to my peripheral, and a little tiny 110 black girl, being big and badass, and women, got her phone all up in my face. Like right here. So, whatever. And now the guys behind the counter are kind of nervous, because they're like, oh my God, this guy had to say something, didn't he? Oh man, now we're in trouble. Well, it turns out they wrapped up their transaction with this lady, this female, pretty quickly. And so they, they went out of the store before I did. And they were already out on the sidewalk. Meanwhile, talking smack the whole time. Well, and then the guy behind the counter, as I'm taking the receipt, put my card back in my wallet, grabbed my beer, he's like, oh, be careful. I ignored that shit. Fuck being careful. If you're being that disrespectful and you can't handle being called out on it, you're the one with the problem, not the person calling you out on it, and not the poor cashier behind the counter who has to tell another customer, be careful, you piss these people off, they're acting unruly and they might hurt you. Yeah, I'm sorry. The truth of it is that I don't care how much talk they smack they talk, whatever. You can run your mouth. You know what I was really waiting for? Is that finger. Just that one touch. Just that one excuse. I don't care how many of you there are. I don't care how many big, black, intimidating thug gangsters there are around me. Just lay that finger on me, please. Give me a reason. Just give me a reason. Have a nice day.